Hi, I'm Violet, the Abysmal Witch, and welcome to A Witch's Perspective. Currently talking generally about cancer, and today's topic is going to be about death. Yes, I said the D word, death. That scary, scary thing that people in today's modern world don't want to think about, deal with, or otherwise engage with. Well, funny thing happens when you get diagnosed with cancer. You start actually recognizing your own mortality in a whole new way. Now, this is not the first time I've had a little brush with my own mortality. The one that really comes to mind involved a fair amount of drinking, an exercise ball, falling off of said exercise ball, and there being a cast iron cauldron and a wall, and it's a miracle I neither broke my neck nor cracked my head open. Like really a miracle. And there's that moment after you've fallen when you feel how close death has just come a knocking for you. um, well, the difference there being it's very, very fast, right? Like this thing happened, whoop, and it could have been me dead on the floor. Would have been a very interesting thing to discover later, but wasn't, right? It was a very quick, very flash. It was a death flash. Cancer's not quick. There's nothing about this that has been quick. I mean, there are types of cancers that'll get you moved through the system really fast, and I'm actually really glad I don't have one of those because that's usually a very bad sign. Meanwhile, the cancer I have, while things are moving relatively quickly, especially given COVID, it's still a whole lot of waiting, and it's slow and it's not immediate. So when you get that diagnosis, I mean, everyone, not everyone, but there's a good number of people who look at you kind of and interesting, and it feels like, as I discussed in the kicking the puppy episode, that it's almost like I'm telling people I'm going to die. It's not what I'm doing. I'm not telling people I'm going to die. And it's not that people are necessarily assuming I'm going to die, but death, when cancer gets mentioned, it's as if death walks into the room and that everybody recognizes that. And it's quite startling in its own way and something that has to get worked through. And you could take it as a really horrible, scary thing and do a lot of drugs and try to avoid it, or take the opportunity to engage with death in a new fashion, in a closer relationship. I'm actually of the perspective that we do not engage with death nearly enough, that we actually need to be in a much clearer, healthier, a natural relationship with death, which is our one guarantee from when we're born that we come whoop, into the world, and death is what's going to take us out of the world. It is the great gatekeeper, as it were, and we're all going to have it. And it's been an interesting part of the cancer journey, is experiencing and discovering how much closer death is in my own perspective, as well as in the zeitgeist around me. Like I said, it's not that people are assuming I'm going to die, but it got closer. It got more real. It got tangible in a whole new way. So something to think about is just what does death mean? What is our relationship with death, and how it feels when it got so much closer, because it did a lot. It's kind of cool in a weird and twisty way, but I actually really enjoy hanging with death because death has some very interesting ramifications, which I will talk about in my next contemplative musing kind of moment. So, blessings of the weird and the wild to you. This has been A Witch's Perspective, subject to change over time. Blessed be.